even more passionate now about what we're about to share and what we're doing. We just had an announcement here in Houston. I live in Houston, Texas, of a death that took place that diagnosed 1 month and died the next month of pancreatic cancer. That's, to me, we need to know, right? I needed to know when it was stage 1, not when it was stage 4. Diagnosed as stage 4, and in 30 days, you're gone. That means to me that there's something I don't know. There's some truths that I need to know about. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Bell. Everybody calls me Dr. Roz. I have been fortunate and blessed to do a number of things, and all this stuff is right there on the screen for you to look at. But what's the most important is that I love the Lord. I'm in ministry. And now I have merged ministry into another phase of ministry, because you can't do the work that God has called us to do, the visions that God has given us to do, if we're not healthy. I mean, I'm in church and I hear preachers preach heaven down, and then they go in the office and die of a heart attack. That's not God's will. So as I became a certified wellness coach, I'm so glad that I connected with a company that helped me to learn some things and being taught a natural path, and then began to do my own research. It's taken it to the next level. And so I have a certified entrepreneur and lifestyle consultant certificate, and I am a certified wellness coach. So understand this, I'm not a medical doctor. But let me tell you something, I've talked to a bunch of nurses who don't have an MD behind their name that know just as much as the medical doctors, if not more. All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone.
What is cancer? Our bodies are made up of millions of cells. Inside each cell is an instruction manual called DNA, which has chapters we call genes. Genes tell the cells how to behave, when to make new cells, and when to die. When cells divide, they make a copy of their DNA and genes, so that each new cell has the same instructions. That copy also divides, and so on, while older or damaged cells are told to die off, making way for new healthy ones. Occasionally, the DNA instruction manual in a cell can get damaged or mutated. The cause of this mutation could be a chemical or environmental carcinogen. You might even have a hereditary risk for cancer. Other times, the cause is unknown. While healthy cells are trained to listen to signals for when to grow, divide, and die, cells with mutated DNA sometimes ignore your body's signals. These rogue cells continue to divide unchecked. This is how cancer starts. In some cases, the cancer stays put and is localized. In other cases, the cancer spreads or metastasizes. When they are metastatic, tumors consume the body's resources as they grow, damaging healthy, functioning tissues and organs along the way. When considering treatment options, your doctor may order genomic testing for your tumor. Genomic testing reads the instruction manual of cancer cells to identify the mutations that may be causing the cancer to grow. So what's next? Depending on the stage of your cancer, your doctor may use a standard method to initially treat your tumor, such as surgery to remove the tumor, radiation used in small doses to kill cancer cells in a precise area of your body, or chemotherapy to kill rapidly dividing cells throughout your body if the cancer is spread. Your doctor may also consider targeted therapy drugs, which are developed to precisely target the underlying DNA mutations causing your tumor to grow, and may be less toxic and more effective than chemotherapy. Or immunotherapy, which uses the power of your own immune system to attack cancer cells. Genomic testing can help your doctor choose the targeted therapy or immunotherapy option that is best suited for your specific cancer.
Dana, by what doctors have told you, you have 4 years to live.
So they've been giving me a total of 8 years, like about 8 to 10. So I'm 4 years into the ACE, but I don't believe them. I do not.
What does a day in the life look like with your treatment?
To make the decision first to love, to make the decision to meditate, to eat a really great diet, and to choose positivity. Because I tried the negativity and that didn't work out so well. And it doesn't work out for anybody.
Dr. Myers, we have you here. How do you assess when a patient comes in? And I'm not asking you to judge David's decision because we have to live our lives the best way we can. But when a patient comes in, what do you advise if they want holistic?
So I'm so happy, first of all, that David's doing beautifully. And what I always advise is there is standard medical treatment that we know works, but it does come with the downside, certainly.
That's the chemo and radiation.
Chemo and radiation. But I always encourage people to use a combination of that and a holistic approach because I think positivity is so important. Doing some integrative therapies, mindfulness, good nutrition, exercise. I think all that helps in a dramatic way to help people live better and live stronger.
Dr. Borgiano, I stumbled over your title because I've never heard of a naturopathic doctor. What do you advise patients as a holistic approach? Do you believe in the combination or is it one or the other?
I think cancer is a big issue and it's diabolical to get into the body. And I think we need all hands on deck. So I think it's individual, each person needs to do what's right for them. But I do think they do need to look at both conventional care as well as holistic care and find out which combination is going to work for them.
Absolutely. And that's really the way I think I would love to see a marriage, an integrative approach. I guess that's what we call it, where both are working together and that there's a harmony.
It's an all hands on deck
It
because
is.
you're fighting for your life. But what kind of evidence that natural medicine? I mean, I have a cold. Somebody said, take oregano oil, and I did happily because you don't always want to take a medicine. But when it comes to cancer, something far more serious, what evidence is there that the holistic approach is one that can lead to success?
Sure. Well, there is mounting evidence. It's gaining more and more robust research.
In the science community.
In the science community, there is evidence-based information that different natural approaches can help lower inflammation, help balance blood sugar, can help lower toxins in the body. And these things do help initiate and propagate cancer. And we're even seeing now that there's certain natural remedies, things like curcumin, melatonin, for example, that's actually been shown to be used with chemotherapy and actually help them work even better.
Dr. Myers, from a traditional doctor's point of view, you are seeing your colleagues embrace this more. As you have said, you see the conformity.
Yes. I think among my colleagues, myself, we certainly believe in the clinical trials and the data that shows that chemotherapy and radiation certainly works and has saved lives. But more and more in the literature, we're also seeing evidence about nutrition, about diet. We also see evidence that things like acupuncture, massage may help to mitigate some of the side effects.
Regardless of the type of condition or disease that someone has, the bottom line is you must have a strong immune system to keep the cells of your body healthy. And the immune system is a complex network of organs, cells, and proteins that defends the body against infection while protecting the body's own cells. And the immune system keeps a record of every germ or microbe it has ever defeated, so it can recognize and destroy the microbe quickly if it ever enters the body again. And there's no question that we are what we eat. And if we're eating poorly, we're eating junk food, our fried foods, our refined and processed foods, our boxed foods, our canned foods. We're not getting the proper enzymes, the proper nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, as well as antioxidants. It will weaken the body, but study after study, PubMed, as well as other research studies throughout the world, has already shown the significance of what cruciferous vegetables can do for you. And if it's broccoli, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, arugula, cabbage, cauliflower, collard greens, they are all healthy cruciferous vegetables. And most of those cruciferous vegetables have a powerhouse of those vitamins and minerals. They have powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And they're known to help reduce many cancers throughout our bodies. And these vegetables will lower the rate of many chronic diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. And they're filled with fiber. And it will do wonderful things to give you that satiety so you don't overeat. Your colon is going to have a feast because it's going to actually increase peristalsis. It's going to get rid of the excessive waste. And you're going to feel so much better. But cruciferous vegetables contain glucosinolates. These compounds give that dark green plants their bitter flavor. And the research shows that glucosinolates have that strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant property. And it helps protect our cells from disease-causing damage. And it's those antioxidants that fight those free radicals in our body's cells and preventing and reducing the damage caused by oxidation. And in simple terms, oxidation is a chemical reaction that takes place when a substance comes in contact with oxygen. And examples of oxygen are rust, as well as the brown color on a cut apple. And these powerful antioxidants are preventing oxidation from taking place in our cells, particularly the mitochondria, which is the heart of our cells. And study after study shows that cruciferous vegetables reduce the bad cholesterol in your blood, your LDLs. That's the cholesterol that causes plaquing within the arteries. It leads to heart disease as well as stroke. And the glucosinolates of those cruciferous vegetables has been shown to help kill cancer cells and stop tumor growth. And that's including stomach and colon cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, as well as pancreatic cancers. And those cruciferous vegetables are not only high in fiber, it's very, very low in the glycemic index. It's very, very low with carbs. It's great for insulin resistance. It can help prevent diabetes. It will help lower high blood pressure. It will help reduce obesity so you can lose that weight so your body can stay healthier. And cruciferous vegetables are not only good to help boost that immune system, they're great for metabolic detoxification, particularly your liver. The glucosinolates in those cruciferous vegetables not only protect the liver cells, but also help produce the enzyme glutathione. And glutathione is the body's most important antioxidant and is the foundation for many liver detoxification reactions. So here's the bottom line. Start supplementing more cruciferous vegetables in your diet. You can add it with many spices, with garlic, onions, shallots. You can be creative, but get them in your diet because you are doing a blessing for the organs, tissues, and glands. And I promise you, you're not only going to build your immune system, but your body will love it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you lots of good health to you, your family, your loved ones. Leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day.
A new restaurant in Lake County is serving up cookies, burgers, and queso. I'm hungry now, with a twist.
Looks good, right? Morning anchor Kirsten O'Connor met the owner who says her recipes are helping to fight cancer in tonight's Getting Results for Your Health.
That's our special. Yeah, that's our special this week. It's fruit and nuts.
Karen Trawick has decades of catering experience, but her real nutrition journey began 2 years ago.
I was diagnosed with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma on my left breast. Once I was diagnosed, I knew I didn't want to have chemo or radiation. I just knew I didn't want to put poison in my body. Now, like I told my doctor, he says, you're going to die if you don't do this. And I said, everybody's going to die. No one's getting out of here alive, but I'm going to do it on my terms.
She did her research and made significant changes to her diet.
I was low in vitamin D, magnesium, things like that. So we increased those so my immune system could heal. You know, and then 3 months into my healing, I go back to the doctor and they took me off of all 6 of my medications while I'm fighting cancer. I brought my numbers and all my information back, and my doctor looked at it and said, I can't argue with this. It's working.
Karen survived, and now she's opened a new restaurant in Mineola
Hey, Amy, grab me a couple of forks. I want them to taste the jackfruit.
to feed her community with meals she says killed her cancer.
I had a lot of reasons to live.
Now Karen's meals and message are impacting friends, families, and strangers.
She's an amazing woman, and to have her help and support like that going through pregnancy, and because it wasn't easy at all, especially being pregnant and wanting to eat all the grilled cheese, and I wanted mozzarella sticks and all that, but she helped me stay strong.
Leaving her just speechless.
I have goosebumps because then And I've had that happen. I've had people come in here and say, I did this because of you, and this is my results.
Getting results for your health. Kirsten O'Connor. A little spice on the end. New 6.
Now, it's important to know Karen absolutely encourages cancer patients to seek medical treatment. This diet worked for her, but her message is to ask your doctors what's right for you. We have 2 of her recipes on clickorlando.com. You'll find them under this story.
Top 6 red foods that start cancer cells. Number 1, tomatoes. Number 2, beans. Number 3, red bell peppers. Number 4, strawberries. Number 5, cabbage. Number 6, cherries.
Studies have shown how important diet is to good health. And now more and more patients are seeking a fresh approach to treatment. KCTV5's Carolyn Long spoke with a local man who claims that food worked for him over chemo to fight his cancer.
One of the contestants on Cute's American Ninja Warrior competition hails from right here in Lee Summit. Running against time and impossible obstacles, 43-year-old Eric Ewing works out in the most unusual way. Who comes up with this stuff?
Right? 43 going on 22.
Especially amazing when you learn Eric faced a dire diagnosis 5 years ago while working as a pilot for SkyWest Airlines. A mole he had removed from his stomach came back as cancerous.
So I went from never going to any doctors, hospitals, Clean Bill Health, to having stage 3B melanoma.
When 4 tumors were found, the doctor suggested chemo.
With that chemotherapy, I had about a 40% chance to live 5 years.
So Eric read, questioned everything, and found a study from the National Institute of Health on his prescribed form of chemo.
It didn't increase your chances of surviving by 1%.
So Eric kept digging and finally decided to forego the conventional treatment method and try a more holistic approach, using food as medicine.
I went guns a-blazing into Gerson therapy.
Gerson therapy is unproven and extremely controversial within the medical field. The treatment shifts the focus from destroying cancer cells to nurturing the healthy cells. Eric even flew out to San Diego to take a class on it.
It's eating whole plant-based foods and juicing 13 times a day for 2 years.
It's a full-time, demanding commitment developed by Dr. Max Gerson in the 30s. It floods the body daily with nutrients through 15 to 20 pounds of organically grown fruits and vegetables. In addition to 3 plant-based meals per day, you can see Eric here in his kitchen filling his prescription for 13 glasses of fresh juice each day.
So every hour on the hour, from the time that you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you're making the juice. And you do that for 2 years.
So that means quite an investment in an industrial strength juicer. That also means no more dairy, meat, sugar, alcohol, or processed foods.
It's a very, very stringent, strict diet, and many people couldn't, unless they had the discipline, they couldn't stick with it. But it works very, very well for most people.
Dr. David Clark is the naturopath Eric has worked with locally for his supplements. He's watched as Eric's tumors have disappeared by one.
His progress is just very, very excellent.
Tumor number 13 is the only one left, shrinking in my left arm.
It is bad food that got us into this problem.
The Gerson therapy is also the focus now of a new documentary called A Food Cure, just released in California 3 weeks ago. It follows 6 cancer patients of varying ages through their fight.
It is good food that can get us out of it.
Eric is just thrilled that the message is getting out that there may be another option.
I feel the best shape of my life.
He even thanks cancer for his zest for living, calling cancer a gift.
Wait, what did you just say?
I know people have trouble with this, but I've learned so much about myself, so much about just understanding other people and just appreciating every day. The cancer for me has been a gift. I've learned so much that I couldn't have learned any other way.
And I have great news to pass along. Eric just had another scan and learned that 13th and final tumor is now officially gone. He is now tumor-free. He'll be hosting a screening of the Food Cure documentary next week, July 12th at the Tivoli Theater. We have information about that on our website, kctv5.com. Carolyn Long, KCTV5 News.
Foods cancer patients should avoid: cold hot dogs or deli lunch meat, dry cured, uncooked salami, unpasteurized milk and milk products, soft cheeses made from unpasteurized milk, smoked fish, deli prepared salads, refrigerated pate, unwashed fruits and vegetables, unpasteurized fruit juice or cider, raw alfalfa sprouts, raw or undercooked beef, raw or undercooked shellfish like oysters, sushi and sashimi, soft boiled, over easy, and poached eggs. Foods made with uncooked eggs, like raw cookie dough. Be sure to like, comment.
The abundance of fiber in berries also aids in maintaining a healthy digestive system, reducing the risk of colorectal cancer. Their high vitamin C content boosts the immune system, helps repair damaged cells, and reduces the risk of various cancers. Berries also contain ellagic acid, a natural compound that has been found to impede the growth of cancer cells and promote their self-destruction. The presence of resveratrol in many berries, such as blueberries and strawberries, provides additional anti-cancer benefits by reducing inflammation and inhibiting the spread of cancer cells. Berries are low in calories and abundant in nutrients, making them a good choice for weight management and cancer prevention. Studies have shown that berries have a protective effect against cancers of the breast, colon, prostate, and liver. The wide variety of antioxidants found in different types of berries offers a synergistic effect, enhancing their overall cancer-fighting properties.
Dr. Ornish showed that a plant-based diet and lifestyle program could reverse the progression of prostate cancer. And he found that men's bloodstreams on the diet were almost 8 times better at suppressing cancer cell growth. Other studies have shown that prostate cancer may be sensitive to diet even after it metastasizes and may prolong survival and even cause remission of bone metastases in men with advanced prostate cancer. Researchers hypothesized that it was too much saturated fat, too little fiber, and too much meat that may be the biggest players in tumor promotion and progression. We don't have a huge amount of scientific evidence for other cancer reversals on a plant-based diet, but we do have countless stories and anecdotal evidence. So let's hear as Dr. Milton Mills shares some of these stories.
There are just innumerable cases of people who have been able to cure themselves of cancers by converting to an entirely plant-based diet. There are very sound mechanisms and reasons why that can occur. I don't want people to take away from what I'm saying that going plant-based is either the only way to treat cancer or that it is a guaranteed cure. But what I do know is that for years, even in the cancer literature, it is shown that once a person is diagnosed with cancer, they adopt a plant-based diet, they are more likely to live longer and to have a longer disease-free survival period. Gigi, the vegan, Gigi documents the fact that she had grown up eating very meat-centered diet. She ate a lot of red meat. She was diagnosed with stage 2 or 3 colon cancer. I can't remember exactly. She was advised that she needed both surgery and follow-up adjunctive chemotherapy. Instead, Gigi looked into what actually caused her disease. She realized that having that meat-centered diet was part of the problem. And to make a long story short, she converted to a purely vegan diet, no animal products whatsoever, no meat, no eggs, no dairy. For the first 6 months of that diet, she was completely wrong. She said over that 6-month period, not only did her CEA tumor markers go down to 0, but then her follow-up CAT scan showed that the tumor had regressed. The doctor was so incredulous, he wanted to do a follow-up colonoscopy. And the colonoscopy that had initially diagnosed her colon cancer, they had stained that cancer with a dye in preparation for the surgery. When they went back in, they saw where the dye was on the wall of the colon, but there was no longer any tumor. Doing this plant-based diet, that tumor completely regressed. And Gigi is now 4 or 5 years out, no sign of recurrence. She is healthy. She has become a plant-based advocate, spreading the news. And then there was Mr. Frank Smith, diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer at the Lombardi Cancer Center at Georgetown University Hospital. Frank had a history of hepatitis C. He also is very honest about prior to that point in his life, he had drank heavily and occasionally used intravenous drugs. He had cirrhosis caused by the hepatitis C, and he was diagnosed with hepatocellular carcinoma. He had two large tumors, one in each lobe of his liver. There really is no effective treatment for hepatocellular carcinoma. The doctors told him that he essentially has 6 months to live and that he should kind of put his affairs in order because you can't use radiation, chemotherapy is ineffective, and because he had these tumors in both lobes, surgery really wasn't an option for him. Frank was put in touch with a plant-based physician, Dr. Theodore Watkins. Dr. Watkins put him on a raw diet. Over the next 8 months, Frank's tumors shrank to the point that follow-up CAT scans showed that where there had been tumors, there was now only scar tissue in his liver. After the liver cancer completely resolved, he then took the medication Harvoni, was cured of his hepatitis C, but this is the part that is really amazing. Frank had been diagnosed with cirrhosis, which means that the liver itself had become completely scarred. By remaining on his plant-based diet, his liver cirrhosis completely resolved. Mind blowing. Donna Green Goodman, back in 1996, was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. They found a pecan-sized tumor, and I believe it was her left breast. She went in for a lumpectomy where they take the tumor out, but they also do a lymph node dissection, and she had 11 of 17 lymph nodes that were positive for cancer. At that point, the doctors told her, it's not curable. We can put you on chemotherapy, chronic suppressive therapy with some radiation, which will essentially buy you time. It will kind of suppress it for maybe up to 5 years, but eventually the cancer is going to come back and it's going to kill you, because that's what happens with stage 3 breast cancer. He went to see at least 2 other cancer physicians who told her the same thing. Now, the important and interesting thing about Donna was that Donna had been lacto-ovo vegetarian her whole life, and she still developed this breast cancer. There's a very good reason for that, because there's so much estrogen in dairy products and in milk that it almost certainly promoted the development of the cancer in her body. And she then decided to become 100% vegan. She was raw for like 6 to 7 months. Over that time period, her tumor markers went down to 0. She has been cancer-free since 1996. That is, without question, a phenomenal cure. Donna, after eliminating all animal foods, dairy, eggs, but she also said that she had come across information that caffeine is very active in breast tissue. And she said all of her adult life, she had had fibrocystic disease in her breast. Once she eliminated the caffeine, that went away. And Donna is still alive, healthy. This is just a remarkable and astounding cure. But again, I think it's very consistent with what we know about the ability of plant foods to help heal our bodies once we, one, stop the dietary insults that are inflaming and driving the cancer. But then there are so many compounds in plant foods that are actually directly toxic to cancer cells.
Thank you so much for watching.
Local breast cancer survivor, now inspiring others in her journey to recovery.
And joining us now with how she battled back with health anchor Liz Bonus. Liz.
Hey guys, good afternoon once again. She did a lot of it with diet. Maria Atkins, who you see here, has had quite a journey to recovery the past few years. But as a registered dietitian, she knew her body needed healthy foods to fuel healing. So today she shared with us what's on her personal menu. She had all the traditional treatments and is now cancer-free.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer December 23rd, 3 years ago.
But much of her medicine and recovery came from her working knowledge that food is medicine. Maria Atkins is a registered dietitian who says she always ate healthy foods, but
now I eat even healthier.
Maria Atkins recently became a peer support dietitian at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. She now teaches others about the benefits of the foods she learned helped her battle back.
It makes me feel a lot more in control of my life personally, and I feel like I can help others even more because I have a story, that I didn't have before.
When I asked about her favorites, a plant-based diet, lower in fat, and fast foods tops the list.
So what are these things that you said are your groceries of the week?
Well, I mean, like, if you haven't tried this, you gotta try.
Oh, that is good yogurt. Yeah, yeah. Her day often starts with yogurt.
I encourage a lot of pro and prebiotics because our brain and our gut are, connected.
From there, her proteins are often plant-based as well. Nuts, for example.
Walnuts, almonds, whatever.
She also tries to include flax seeds with good oils in them.
I put this in my coffee.
Oats, blueberries, salmon, greens, and beans are also on her list. She cooks mainly with olive oil whenever possible, and still believes that adding a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables adds a lot of healing goodness. As for those who've taken her classes here,
I feel like nutrition is a very big part that could like make a benefit and improve like the body, the mind, and the soul.
she is so right. Isn't that true? Not every one thing works for everyone, but I want to tell you that I got stuck inside over the weekend because it was snowy. So I want you just to smell this first. Doesn't that smell amazing?
Bread, right?
So yes, this is honey whole wheat.
It smells sweet.
Yeah, honey whole wheat flaxseed bread. If you're brave enough to try, I know it's like a little just. I made this, yeah, from scratch, and it's a rapid yeast, rapid rise to scratch yeast. And just if you take a bite, yeah, sure.
All right.
It's not like banana bread. It's more like a bread, but it's a little sweet, doesn't need butter. And what you do is instead of like your traditional bran, or you can just substitute flaxseed for some of it. And people often say, how do you use flax seeds? And if they're ground, they'll go right in it like that, I have to tell you.
So you didn't use a bread maker?
I did not use a bread maker. I did not use a mix. I literally just put the flour with the flaxseed and the honey and the yeast and let it rise.
I'll eat the rest for dinner.
All right, good deal.
I mean, I hate to sound like Oprah, but I love bread.
I do too. That's why I did it.
I don't
Yeah.
worry about eating it.
And I just wanted to get the smell.
9 cancer-causing foods we consume regularly. 1. White loaves. 2. Microwave popcorn. 3. Alcohol. 4. Potato chips. 5. Smoked and processed meat. 6. Soda. 7. Canned food. 8. Pickled food. 9. Farmed salmon.
We're back and you're watching News Channel 3 live at 9 and Health News this morning. Can you heal cancer and other devastating diseases with nutrition? Well, there's tons of research out there that indicates that you actually can.
But the best testament to the power of nutrition is one who's done it. 15 years ago, Memphian Chris Ward was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and he opted out of chemotherapy and cured his disease with food, then started his Chris Beat Cancer movement and attracted millions of followers. And finally, you've written a book, a physical book. Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
So, and you're not, last week you were number 3, like immediately after it was out, you were number 3 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right. The book came out last Tuesday, and shot up to number 3 of all books on Amazon, which is pretty
amazing.
insane. Yeah.
That is incredible. So Chris, for those who don't know, why nutrition? Why did you decide to opt out of chemotherapy, radiation, and say nutrition is the way?
Well, I had this epiphany pretty early on in the cancer journey, and that was that the way I was living was killing me, right? And I realized like there's more to health and disease than just medical treatment. Medical treatment can be very helpful, very beneficial.
And you did have surgery.
Yeah,
You
I had
removed
surgery,
the
absolutely.
tumor.
But what a lot of people don't know, and this is so important, is that up to 95% of cancers are caused by diet, lifestyle, and environment. So our choices really have a lot to do with our health.
Yeah.
And so I just decided I've got to change my whole life. I've got to take massive action. I've got to create an environment where cancer cannot thrive. That was my goal. And so the way you do that is with nutrition. With the food you put in your body is what your body's made of.
And describe that environment. I've heard a lot that you need to be alkaline, not acidic. If there's no sugar, that sugar feeds cancer. What did you learn through this?
There's a lot of little sort of ideas like that floating around.
Right.
Yeah. But the simplest way to put it is that, when you give your body an abundance of fruits and vegetables, you're putting in all of these amazing compounds, phytonutrients. These are plant nutrients that have anti-cancer benefits in the body, that are anti-inflammatory, that can stop cancer growth, that can tell cancer cells to commit suicide. So there's all this amazing research on the anti-cancer power of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
We just got to get them in there and let your body use what it needs.
So when did you start really noticing a difference? Or as a matter of fact, what about your doctors? When did they see a difference as well? Did they?
Yeah, so I started feeling really good within just a week or two of radically changing my diet from your typical, meat 3 times a day diet.
Yeah.
Right?
When you were really sick, though, you still had cancer, but you started feeling better?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then I went from eating basically 1 to 2 servings of fruits and vegetables per day to between 15 and 20 servings of fruits and vegetables every day.
What did your doctors?
Yeah.
What did your doctors say then? Were they amazed by this? Or
You know,
what was their reaction?
The first doctor I saw, the first oncologist I saw told me I was insane. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't go back to him, but I found another one who supported me, an integrative oncologist, and he supported me and ordered my blood work, ordered my scans, and just monitored my progress, for years. And he was apprehensive and concerned that the cancer would come back. He wasn't sure if what I was going to do was going to help me.
Right.
What I was doing was going to help me. But as my blood work came back better and better, scans kept coming back clean, he got really excited too. So
Yeah.
it took some time.
And you have such a following. You've become a international speaker, actually, because people are really interested in this. But how do we get the right fruits and vegetables? Because there's a lot of toxicity in our environment. So how do you have to go organic? How do you do that?
Organic is best, but some people don't have access to organic, and so that's okay. Like if you shift away from eating a diet that's loaded with meat and dairy, processed food, and junk food, have a diet that's loaded with fruits and vegetables,
You'll be
even
better.
if it's not organic, you will be so much better off.
Yeah.
It's all in the
start. Chris, cancer. Chris, thank you very much. Glad to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Love your story.
Your version of you is the highest version of you, bar none. Like that's the best version of you. And so like people strive in the areas of wealth, people strive in the areas of the lady or man they want, but we're not striving to be the best physical version of ourselves. And, we just need to do better with that in our community. What would you do if you had cancer? If I had cancer? I would immediately get out of America because stressful environment, stress does, cause cancer to exacerbate. So I would immediately leave there, go somewhere distance where I can be around festivals. I would immediately start juicing, not eating, because the thing you want to do is you want to starve cancer, right? Because you can feed cancer, and one of the primary things you can feed cancer with is sugar. Okay, so I want to starve it by first not eating any kind of sugar. And then I want my body to be in such a healthy state. Remember what I told you? Your belly is empty. Like the more you eat, the more healthier it's going to be. Like it's just fats. And so I'm gonna juice a lot so I can keep my body in a resting state so it can use all of the energy it will be breaking down food with to heal, regenerate, and repair. So that's sort of like a little bit of what I do if I did get cancer. Thanks for watching this video.